Hey guys, good morning everybody. Today is Tuesday, August 5th. It is 6:24 right now. We got market opening up in about 6 minutes. So I'm going to go ahead and finish marking up liquidity over here and we'll get started shortly with our analysis for today. So let's mark this up here on the daily. Going down to the 8 hour. Down to the 30 minute. Down to the 15 minute. Down to the 10 minute. And back down to the 1 minute here. All right, looks good. So good morning, everybody. Today is Tuesday, August 5th. It is 6:26 right now. We got market opening up in about 4 minutes. I've marked up liquidity over here. We're currently in a demand zone at the current moment. One thing that I wanted to bring up, so not everybody's here yet, but I did a lot of testing last night and throughout the day of this breakout strategy that I just had an idea about. It's a strategy that's it's a more of it's more of a, like an entire day type entry, like an intraday strategy. So like for this one right here, I have price kind of coming down right here from like yesterday market open up until today. What I'm going to expect here is I'm expecting price to pull back up to this point right here at 44.330, and then come right back down to here. So if you guys want to try this out, I mean, feel free. I'll be marking this up pretty much every day, just to test it during real-time market. Um, and I'm gonna see how it works. If it works out really well for my testing, it works out pretty well. It's like it's pretty accurate breakout strategy that yields pretty good profits month over month. So I just need to test it during real market, and if it works out real good, I'll add this to the breakout strategies that we've been applying. So this one here is more of a it's like you're trading the direction of overall bias and trend, but then waiting for the retracement to a specific retracement point, and then continuation back in this direction. So I'll leave this here if you guys want to take this. The entry is going to be at 44 330. The stop loss is at 44 388. Profit target's at 44 214. So basically stop loss is 58 points. Profit is at 116. It's a 1 to 2. So yeah, if you guys want to take a look at this, feel free. I'll come back and keep checking out this a little later in the day to see how it's playing out or if it's filled. But typically this entry should fill by about 9 o'clock. If it isn't filled by 9 o'clock, it's going to be canceled. I think this is something that you might like, Steven, because I know you're looking for something that you can just set and forget, not really play around with or make any adjustments to. So we'll be testing this, and if you want to try this out, I mean, feel free. The entry is going to be here at 44 330, stop loss at 44 388, and the TP at 44 214. So we'll take a look at this as market opens up in a few. We got market opening up here in about 2 minutes, guys. We'll see what happens here in a few. The ATR is currently at 9 right now, so it's a little slow. But we'll see where this is. Andrew said, sorry if I missed it, but how do you decide the retracement point? So I measure it by like a percentage of retracement. So I don't have this. Well, I don't really want to share it right now specifically because this is what I'm going to be using for the hedge fund. This is one of the hedge fund strategies that I'll be applying. But it's a retracement to a specific percentage point. So you can see right there how it retraces up from this low point. So the way I calculate it is a little tricky. I'm using like very specific parameters. So what I do is I calculate the entire range from the day, and then I get the direction, and then from there I catch the retracement, basically 50% of the entire range, right? So the entire range right here would be about like 46%. This is about 23, and that's where I'm identifying the range. Basically a 50% retracement from the low or the high point, depending on which direction I'm looking to trade it. So yeah, sorry, Andrew, I don't really want to share it directly. Maybe at some point I'll share it with you guys specifically with certain people in the group. But right now, this is going to be a hedge fund specific strategy that I'm going to be focusing on for breakouts. And once it's good and it's all pretty much sorted out, I'll let certain people know how it works and whatnot. All right, guys, market is now open. So we got price pushing up right here. The overall trend right now is currently, it's mixed. So the 1 minute here was bearish. It's shifting to bullish right now. Same with this over here on the 5 minute price is shifting up a little bit. And same with the 15 minute. This is going to align with that strategy that I was just talking about right here. Price is pulling up to the 44,330. We'll see over here if price pushes up to this area, fills the order, and then comes right back down. Right. Yeah, no problem, Andrew. It's pretty good though. I've tested it like all the way up until May. Like I was up all night last night testing it from like yesterday up until May, and it's a really good strategy with regard to breakout. And I do the measuring here on the 5 minute. So right here, guys, it's been filled. We'll come back and take a look here if it does come back down and drops further. Um, but I did test it in a long-term perspective. It does have like about a 60 to 70% win ratio, which is good for a breakout and for a 1 to 2. So there we go, as it fills in and it comes back down. I'll be looking here also for the orb, guys. So the orb here is about to set up. The problem with the orb here is that it's not going to be really in a direction of the overall trend because of the current direction of price here. So we got an orb right here. Orb high is going to be at 44,354 if you guys are looking to take this here for a buy. I will possibly look to take this here. So 44,354. So we got about 25 seconds left on here. See if price actually closes above this area. No close above it. All right, so no orb entry yet, guys. Price is kind of coming back down right here. I've also been testing a couple different setups for the orb as well, with regard to TP stop loss, just in case, the ATR does change a little bit. Right now it's currently at 17. So it's still like where it normally is. I did a lot of testing yesterday. I was just at I just did a lot of brainstorming and I was like, okay, if the market stays this way, then how can we adjust to adapt to the current market conditions? And there's just a lot of different things you can do. Change TP stop loss, adjust breakout entries, look at different types of setups and whatnot. Looking at the daily outlook for today, guys, it's bullish leaning. Doesn't necessarily mean it's gonna be bullish all day, but it is bullish leaning. Let's see. No close above it yet, guys. Still kind of sitting around that area. We'll see here if it actually closes on this candle. So you got price kind of pushing through right here. I'm going to clean up the liquidity here that's been kind of tested out of it. So you can see our price is having a lot of trouble getting past this area. It needs to close above this 44,354. Right now it's having a lot of trouble getting past it. You can see again right there, it pushes above it and then it gets pulled back really quickly. Thanks, Sam. Morning. All right, we got about 20 seconds left on this candle right here. I mean, this orb does look good because it can fill this high right here. It does break above it and push up higher. All right, we might get the orb here. All right, I will put my pending order there.
Order submitted. Order filled.
So it looks like I got into the orb right here. Price is pushing up. And profit about 650 right now. I'm in profit about 10 points, 17 points. Price is pushing up. Let's see if it gets to that 30 mark. I'm gonna put a line here at the 30 mark. All right, stop loss is in profit. I've guaranteed 10 points. And I'm going for the full 40 here. So I'm going for that full 40. My stop loss is in profit at 10. Almost there. All right, full TP, I'm at 40. There we go, full TP on the orb entry, guys. 40 points. Man, that was smooth. Been waiting for that orb for a really, really long time now. Look good. All right, guys, perfect entry right there. Looks like a lot of you guys here caught it. Steven got it. Chris got it. Christian got it. Nice work, guys. Full TP, 40 points right there. Blasted right through it. Hey, Lila, morning. Yeah, great morning, right? There we go. All right, it was about time. About time we got that orb right there. So, guys, first win for the day. Orb right here, full TP, 40 points. It's where the patience paid off. So I'll go and put this over here. It looks like price is coming down. It looks like the other breakout didn't hit. Yeah, that didn't hit for today, but this orb did hit, which is perfect. Looking at this here, I'll put my profits over here real quick. If you have guys have profits to post up, feel free to send them in. This is for the orb momentum entry. 40 points. Huge, huge win right there, guys. Amazing trade. Okay, so let me screenshot my accounts over here real quick. Man, it's been a long time since like a full TP hit like that for the 40. I was a little tempted to close out at the 30 because it started getting a little choppy around there. But I had my stop loss and profit at 10 already, so there's really no need for me to get scared. So worked out. Yeah, as long as the stop loss is in profit, I'm not really too worried about the position, especially if it's pushing through. All right, hopefully now we're going to go back into another win streak. I think this is really key. It's like a turning point for us because we've kind of been in limbo for the past two, or not 2 weeks, but past week. Last week was kind of tricky. The week before that was a bit of a choppy market. So we only took one trade the week before last week. Of course, it hit, so that's a good thing. But yeah, we haven't had a consistent week in a while. All right, so we got some nice profit right there. Here are my profits, guys. So my profits right here, you guys can see I hit it pretty big day today. Here's my accounts, my main accounts, my personal accounts, my Apex. So I locked in about 1,000 right here. 2,000 on this one, 600 on these accounts, 2,000 on these accounts. Today was actually a really big day for me, guys, because I started to increase the contract size a little bit on these other accounts right here. So just on these accounts, I increased back to my normal account size. Well, not a normal account size, but I basically halved it instead of cut it in threes. So these over here are still cut in threes. That's why I'm making 1,000 on these. And then for these, I only halved it in two because I was like, I might as well take some risk on my other accounts over here. So pretty big day over here for me overall. 600, 2,000 per account, 1,000 per account, 1,200 per account down here, 600 on this one. And then of course these ones up here, 600 for these, 1,000, 2,000, etc. So pretty big day overall. I'll be looking for other entries. Yeah, that's the power of patience, guys. I've been patient for a while now. What I started to notice is that I usually take maybe two trades, so I might increase my risk to maybe just half instead of a third because I don't really take three trades per day. So I took the first step of increasing it on these accounts and played out perfect right there. So for these over here, I'm usually risking 1,000, make 2,000. And for these over here, I'm risking 2,000 to make 1,000, etc. It's one to two, so and those all reach full TP. Anyways, let's go over here real quick and clean this up a little bit. Looks like price is currently sweeping off this high right here, or this liquidity off the 44,419. So possible sweep right there, 44,419. I use this as a confluence right here, the session high. So I went for the extreme. So the session high right here would be the confluence, and the extreme from there would be that liquidity above it. Nice. Yeah, Sam got in at 44,418. So pretty much right where my liquidity was sitting, but Sam got in a little lower, just by 1 point. So Steven over here, great profit. Let me show you guys. I'll just save it over here real quick. Steven's profits, Christian's profits, and we'll see what is coming up next. Okay, so here are the team profits. We have Steven's profits right here. So Steven locked in 600 for the day. Nice work, Steven. Solid win. And we have Christian's profits right here. He locked in 600 for the day. Nice work, Christian. All right, guys, great profits so far. If you guys have any more profits, post that. Feel free to send them in. Again, this right here is the sweep that's coming down right now. I use the New York high over here as the confluence. That already hit 40 points. If you guys are just joining in, the orb over here, the orb breakout hit full TP for 40 points. And then right here, we just had a sweep over here at this extreme high for another 40 points right there. We'll see if price continues to move in this direction or if it creates a new swing, which looks like might be the case here. It looks like price might start to range within this big area right here down the middle. This looks like another supply zone that could maybe be set up. It's off the 1 minute though. So possible supply zone right there if this ends up becoming the range. I'm curious to see what my profits are all added up. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to try to link up my trader sync right now. Yeah, because this is a lot of profit for one day, guys. I haven't had a profit day like this in a while because I wasn't taking full risk before. I was taking like a third of the risk. So I was only making a third of my normal profit. So let me go to my trader sync real quick. Here are my stats so far, 594,000. I'm going to try to upload it right now, my trades, and see if I can just add it up that way. I don't want to add it up by hand. It's going to take too long. We'll keep looking for entries here, though. We're not done trading, guys. So we are not done trading. I'm going to keep looking for opportunities here. See, the good thing about this is that I'm trading a 1 to 2. So even if I do lose a trade next, I'm still going to be in profit for the day. It's the beauty of trading a 1 to 2 with a high win ratio. All right, we got price coming down right now. Okay, perfect. Looks like Trader Sync is working. Now it's gonna sync up my other accounts. All right, we got price coming down right here. Looking at the overall trend, guys, overall trend here is still very bullish. So everything here pretty much lined up with our daily outlook. So our daily outlook here was bullish leaning. This is the reason why I looked to take the buy for the orb. Also, we had a bullish confirmation over here with the trend as well. The 1 minute was bullish, the 5 minute here was bullish, and then the 15 minute here was flipping to bullish as well. Looking over here at the market profile. So 30-minute market profile over here, when price was pushing up, we did have a nice rejection right here off the value low. So that was a nice confluence for a buy. And then likewise over here, price was pushing up past the value high and past the point of control. So when price was pushing up to this point, it looked like a good confluence for price to push up higher. So solid confluences around the board here with regard to overall trend, market profile, and then also my daily outlook for the day. If you guys want this daily outlook is provided to you guys completely free. Just go to the Discord over here, scroll down to daily outlooks, and this is available to you guys here if you guys want to look at this. I have pretty much everything here set up, key bias, major levels to watch, supply and demand zones, trade setups, outlooks for the morning, outlooks for the night, news events, risk management recommendations, and overall action plan. So yeah, again, if you guys want to have this, the daily, the weekly, the monthly, whichever one you guys are interested in, it's all available right here on the Discord. Just go down over here to monthly, weekly, daily outlooks, and it's available to you guys for free. I just share it with you guys because it's good to have the knowledge there. It's good to be aware of like how the market's moving. I don't charge for that stuff. Of course, like I said, I don't really teach as much anymore. I'm mainly focused on the hedge fund. So my main goal here is really just to have a full understanding and analysis of the market. Which is key. I mean, it doesn't matter what strategy you guys are applying, you should always have an idea of how the market is moving with regard to market structure, price action, etc. Yeah, it doesn't matter if you guys are applying breakouts, if you're applying training strategies, momentum strategies, pullback strategies, retracements, etc. You guys can apply whatever strategy you want, but it's good to know where market structure is at. So like I said over here, guys, I just marked up this supply zone. This is a 1 minute supply, so it's probably not going to be a very strong one unless it aligns with the higher time frames. I only marked this up right here because I saw this nice sharp movement to the downside, right? Price pushed up right here, kind of went sideways for a bit, consolidated, and then it dropped. So that's why I identified this right here as a supply zone. This could be a supply zone, could be just be a resistance. Doesn't really matter. It's just knowing that there's a structure right there to look out for in case you're looking to climb this back up, right? Because if I'm going to be taking some buys here, I'm going to be looking for price to push past this area and retest this higher high. The only problem with this right here is that if you do look for a trade right here, there's going to be Asia higher here, right? There's going to be a red flag. So it's just something to be careful for and to be aware of because there can be possible fake outs around this area. Price is now ranging and consolidating around this middle point right here. This is the reason why I am a little more dialed in on breakout entries, guys, because I don't really like how the market here, how it gets stale around like 7 o'clock. Like right here, it's going to be really hard to take entries because, I mean, price isn't really going anywhere. Right. In order for us to take some buys here, I need price to really push up and push up higher. And even if it does push up here, we do have this huge supply zone up here. Supply resistance, again, whatever you guys want to call it. For the longest time, I hated calling it supply, and I would just call it resistance. But like now that I've kind of come to realization, it doesn't really matter what you call it. It's just understand that this is a structure, and if price does get to this point, it can either bounce off it and come back down, or it can break through it and continue pushing up higher. It acts the same way. Supply resistance, demand support, whatever you guys consider it, it has the same thought process behind it, right? You're looking for a reaction at this structure. So, all right, guys. Oh man, this is crazy. The profits that I made today. I think this is right. Okay, so here are my profits for the day, guys. Well, this isn't all my accounts, okay? So this is just these are just two of my logins. So I still have more profits here. This is probably gonna be closer to like maybe 60,000 for the day because this only accounts for um so if you look at my profits for over here, it accounts for like maybe this page right here, the first page. This doesn't account for my Tradeify accounts down here. It doesn't account for my Perdia. It doesn't account for my Take Profit Trader down here. So basically, like from these accounts down, they're not accounted for. It's mainly just these right here on the first list. So these are my profits for that first list right there. It's at 47,300. It says 38 trades. I took more than that because I have more accounts, but I don't want to upload all of them because it takes too long. So anyways, those are my profits for the day, guys. 47,300. Sorta. It's closer to 60. And then here is my overall profits for the year so far. So you guys can see we're back in an upwards trend right here. It's pretty nice how it's moving up. We had a nice push in profit from January up until April. Then we kind of went sideways for a bit. And then in July up until now, it's starting to climb right back up. So we're in a nice upwards trajectory right here. Gross profits for the year so far is 641,530. Net profits is 545,846. So I'm hoping we keep up this consistency over time and we can just keep building this higher and higher, right? So, all right, guys, we got price falling back down right here, and we are going to continue following this to see where we can, take this next. Right now, I'm going to keep up marking structures. So we got a lower high right there established. We have a lower low here, which is currently pending. You guys can see price is pretty much just ranging between these two zones. We got support, we got resistance, we got supply, we got demand. Again, whatever you guys want to call it, just identify it as structure. I might just call it structure too from now on, guys. I don't know if I'll call it supply and demand. I'll just call it structure because it just makes more sense that way. It doesn't matter. Like even if it's like for example here, if it's a demand, there's two things that can happen. It doesn't mean price is exactly going to bounce off it, right? That's why it's preferably to be called structure because two things can happen here. As price drops lower, it's either going to bounce off this and pull back into the range, or it's going to break below and retest the next structure below it, right? And then same concept. It's either going to bounce or it's going to break through further. Yeah, I mean that's a key, Barack. I hope so. I was kind of I kind of put that on the back burner. I wasn't expecting myself to hit that goal anymore after, April and then July and June were kind of slow. But now that we're back into full swing and it looks like, if you look at my stats, so my stats for this month so far, we're up 59,000 for August just from the first and today. But if you look at July, I was up 168, June I was up 50, May I was at 14. So you can see over here I started picking back up, right? So if we start from the beginning of the year, I was up 75, 94. March was huge, 238. And then April was my first red month. I lost 59. Then May I made a little bit, 14. June, I picked up again 50, July 168, and then now we're back up again. So, this just goes to show for you guys that like you're not going to have perfect months, right? Some months are going to be kind of slower, some months are going to be bad. Thankfully for me, I just had a bad April. I picked myself back up from there. I was able to adapt with the market, adjusted my TP stop loss, moved on to a 1 to 2, and now we're back into consistency. So, guys, whenever you guys have problems with trading, I mean, you guys are free to ask me any questions, right? I'm here to help you guys out. Like I said, I don't really teach anymore. So, um, well, I don't teach new people. I teach you guys, but I don't teach new people very much, unless I open up the mentorship again, which is just one person per month. But for you guys here, I'm able to help you guys out. If you guys have questions regarding, your strategy, adjustments to your risk, anything like that, really, I can help you guys out because I'm going through the same thing, right? With my strategies here, I was doing a 1 to 1 for a while, and then, we started to realize that the market here wasn't very consistent. So I had to switch it to a 1 to 2. And we used to do a 30-30, and because of the market conditions, I switched it to a 40-20. Um, I use AI to my advantage. I do a lot of research, I do a lot of back testing, I use AI to improve on that, and I can help you guys improve your strategy too. It's just you guys have to ask. So, anyways, let's see if there's any news over here. So for Tuesday, we had news this morning at 6:45. I didn't realize we had news this morning at 6:45, but we did. It was S&P Global Services PMI, and then we had pre-market news over here, imports, exports, balance of trade. So 5:30, 6:45, and then we have a high impact news event over here, ISM Services PMI at 7 o'clock. So 5:30, 6:45, I'll just mark that up real quick. We had news over here. The 5:31 wasn't really effective. It didn't really do much. Just gonna mark it up so we have an idea where the news was. And then 6:45, which was just now, that was positive. And then 7 o'clock over here, just coming up shortly. Hussein's asking, hi Sean, how do you use ChatGPT for trading? Um, I mean, the thing is like it's pretty endless when it comes down to ChatGPT because as long as you can ask it proper questions, like you have a proper prompt for it, you can ask it whatever you want. Like literally whatever you need help with trading, right? Like you can ask ChatGPT, like the prompts have to be very specific though. Like you have to tell ChatGPT what it's doing, what type of personality it has, and your question. I think that's like the three main things. Like typically when I'm asking it a futures question, I'm usually telling it you are a professional futures trader, period. And then I ask it a question regarding futures, right? If you're curious about like what's like the highest probability strategy for YM, you could just put that in. What's the highest probability for YM, Dow Futures historically? And then you can ask that, and it'll tell you like what's highly profitable and what's probable. You don't necessarily have to take it word for word, but it'll tell you what strategies, and then from there you can take a deeper dive. Like once it tells you that specific strategy, then okay, from there you can ask it more questions. Okay, like give me a comprehensive breakdown of this specific strategy, and then from there you can ask it again. Um, what is the highest probability risk parameters for a TP stop loss at specific points, and then it'll tell you that. So you kind of have to like dig deeper. You start off with like a general question, then you dig deeper and deeper and deeper. I can't give you a specific prompt because I don't know what your question would be, right? You have to like you have to think about it. Like, what do you want to ask? And then you kind of funnel it in, right? It acts like a funnel. So you ask like a broad question, and then from there you just go deeper. You ask a broad question and then specific question and then specific details. Like you have to go in this type of like you have to question it in a like you start with a broad question, then you ask the specific, then specific details, and then you just keep going more and more specific from there. That's why you have to be very specific. You can't just ask it like, hey, what strategy should I apply? It doesn't work like that, right? You have to figure out like the specifics, like the specific strategy type, what your parameters would be, what assets you're trading, what time you're trading, what filters you're using. There's a lot of like you can't just ask it something basic or it's going to give you wrong responses. Yeah, Hussein said sometimes ChatGPT gives very wrong answers. Sometimes I load my chart, but it gives wrong info even about the prices mentioned in the chart. Yeah, that's why you have to correct it. You can't just give it like you can give it a screenshot of your chart, but then you have to give it the parameters that you're asking it to focus on. Like for example, if you want to screenshot this chart right here, you can send it a screenshot, but then you have to tell it exactly what to look at. Like you have to, if you're talking about the pivots, you're like, okay, pivot level is right here at 44,301. Pivot level two is at 44,314. And then you have to be like, you can't just be very basic with it. You have to be very, very specific. I think that's why I've been able to leverage ChatGPT with a lot of my analysis and outlooks because I ask you very specific questions. Like, like here, I'll show you like one of my prompts that I ask, right? And sometimes I don't even take the info from here. I fill it in manually. So this is one of my prompts that I ask ChatGPT. Like I ask for all these specific questions right here. And then a lot of times I'll let it provide the levels and then I'll go into my chart and I'll actually enter these myself. The thing is with the data, you're better off filling the data in yourself than to ask ChatGPT to look it up for you. Because when it looks it up for you, it looks it up on the internet. So, sometimes people post stuff on the internet and it's not correct. That's why you get incorrect responses. So it's better if you feed it the data and then it does work from that data that you give it, not asking it to search the web for the specific data and stuff like that. All right, guys, so price is right here down at the demand slash support level. Price is spiking right here. There goes the news candle, huge spike at this point. Huge spike right here. The sweep level would have been, I mean, I would have went for the extreme, which would have been down here. Price rejected directly off the sessions right there. So there goes the news candle. This is kind of what I was waiting for. I was waiting for news to pass. News did pass now, and we're getting a huge spike right here off the demand slash support level. Yeah, Hussein mentioned we had earnings for Cat. We had earnings for a lot of things today. We had earnings for Cat. We had earnings for Plant. Oh, that's what I checked. Pfizer. I'm in a Pfizer position right now. I bought Pfizer yesterday. I think like 400 shares. Thanks for reminding me. All right, cool. Shit, I'm up like 500 bucks on Pfizer. I think I'm gonna close it out. Let me check real quick. PFE. Ah, damn, I got really close. My target was at 25, but I'm gonna get out right here. It's I'm out. All right, not too bad. Made about 500 bucks on Pfizer. I bought Pfizer yesterday at I bought it at 23.50, about 500 shares around there. So I bought it right here at 23.50 yesterday. Yeah, that was a pretty nice spike right there. I've been trading earnings, guys. Not bad. Made about $1 on it. So pretty good. My other earnings, if you guys are curious what other earnings I'm looking for, yeah. So for today we had Pfizer, AMD, Caterpillar, and then Plantair, I think. Yeah, Palantir was on Monday. This was I missed this one. This one was a huge spike. I tried to get in, but I got kind of like sort of greedy. I didn't want to get in at a specific price, and I should have just got in because this thing spiked up pretty heavy. I did take Pfizer today. I need to look for other stocks to buy into for later this week. McDonald's, Uber. I don't know when these are coming out though, so I might miss Wednesdays. Unless I find one that's like in the afternoon. Under Armour, Wendy's, AMC. I don't really see any other big ones here. Maybe McDonald's. So these are probably going to be the ones that I'll be looking for. McDonald's, Disney, Uber, and maybe Constellation. Let me just highlight these. I'm going to take a look at these a little later. If we have some downtime, I'm going to take a look at them. But yeah, I've been just trading stock earnings pretty much every week. It's not bad. I'm making like a couple thousand bucks. Like it's not it's money that I don't really touch though. It's for my investment accounts. So a lot of this stuff I just buy, and if I don't make money on it right away, I just hold on to the stock. I'm only buying good stocks. I'm not buying like junk stocks. Just stuff that I don't mind holding on to long term. Yeah, no problem, Hussein. Glad I could help you with that. But yeah, if you want to keep using ChatGPT, I really highly recommend that if you're feeding it data, make sure that you feed it the data yourself. Don't have it search up the data for you. And then you just want to be very specific with the question that you ask it. And if you send it a chart, be very specific about like what you want it to improve on. Like if you want to ask it like, hey, ChatGPT, what can I do to improve on this trade? You got to tell it like this is where I screwed up, or this is where I messed up, or this is like, like what happened with that trade, you have to explain it to it so that it understands, and then it'll give you a proper response. So looking at this right now, guys, price is down below. I'm just waiting for price to react to the news here. So like now that price has kind of reacted to the news, I'm going to go ahead and mark up a low right here if this low gets established. Let's take a look at the overall trend. The overall trend here is now bearish again, right? So the 1 minute, 5 minute, 15 minute is bearish. 30 minute here is shifting to bearish as well. So with that being the case, what I might look for here is I might look for a possible high-low break and retest below this lower low. Only problem here is that it's going to be within this support slash demand zone. And that's why like over here it might be a little tricky to take the sells. The good thing about this is that there's no other red flags down here, right? There's no sessions that are too close. So if price does break past this area right here and retest it, it's probably going to drop even further. But in order for us to have this here as a high-low break and retest, we need to have this low here established, right? So again, this low here has not been established yet. In order for this to be established, we need to have a new high here for it to drop lower. Let's see, PC said he's in a sell from 346. TP was sweep level. Okay. Yeah, so PC's been over here from 346. Nice. Solid. All right, so price is dropping right here. We'll see where this ends up going. So that lower low right there has been it's been invalidated. We have a new lower low right here. So again, I'm waiting for a new lower low to be established or for it to be established in general before I can start looking for that high-low scalp, high-low break and retest. The ATR is really high right now, guys. We were currently at a 28 ATR. So just something to keep in mind. There's an MPS V2 that came up right here. The MPS V2 came up right at the sessions though, so obviously not one that I would really look to take. But there is an MPS V2 here if anybody was watching for it. There's an MPS V2 here, and then there was also a regular MPS at the 280 right here. So if you guys are looking for the momentum pullback scalp, the original was right here. It followed by MPS V2. So we had a sell signal right here, price retrace step. It closed at 275. Entry would have been at 280 right here. The next nearest whole number, it would have filled and then came down, hit full TP for 40 points. And then again, right here, we had MPS V2, which was at the sessions, also filled right here. And then it hit full TP right there for 40 points as well. So back-to-back wins right there for MPS and MPS V2. Other than that, there's not really much else. I wouldn't take any trades here because of all of the red flags, but just showing you guys there that those are possible setups. All right, so we have a new lower low here. The lower low hasn't been completely established yet. I do like this zone right here though, because the zone lines up with the previous liquidity down below. Let's see, Sam sweeping back up again at 44,179. Nice work, Sam. So Sam got into the sweep right there, looks like. Did you get in, Sam? Okay, perfect. Yeah, Sam did get into it. So Sam got into the sweep right here off this liquidity. It also aligned with the support slash demand down here. So it's a nice confluence. Bounced off that right there, and Sam rode that up for 15 points. Nice work, Sam. The ATR is super high. You could probably hold it for longer now, Sam, if you feel comfortable with it. But there was a sweep right there, 40 points. Because the ATR is at 30 right now, so we're having a lot of volatility. Um, again, if you guys are looking for opportunities here for entry, we're going to look for some confirmations here. I'm looking to take directional moves, not necessarily sweeps at this moment because price is very directional. If you guys are just joining in, we had a couple entries come up today. So for today so far, we had the orb entry over here hit full TP for 40 points. We took that. There's a sweep from up here, MPS, MPS V2, and then another sweep right here. This lower low still hasn't been established yet. So I'm waiting for this here to establish, meaning we need to have a high here that comes up. Once we have that established, we can look for a possible continuation, break and retest. Don't have it yet, but that's kind of what we're looking for here. All right, let's see what we got. Oh, Lila, I just saw your message. I know Pampers, yeah, Pampers diapers are super expensive now. It's crazy. All the baby stuff is expensive. I feel like every day we're buying her stuff and like stuff just keeps adding up, but it's all worth it. All right, Brock. So Brock is done for the day. I did see your message, Brock, so I'll take a look at that in a few, once we're done with this live session. So hopefully we can work on that later today as well. I'll let you know if I need anything else. I'm gonna be doing something later today in the middle of the day, so I probably won't be able to respond to you right away, Brock, but I'll try to get back to you as soon as I do cover everything. Yeah, no problem, Brock. Yeah, I'm going shooting today. My brother's been helping us with like a lot of the baby stuff, so I'm gonna go take him shooting today. We're gonna go out to an outdoor range and pretty much shoot all our guns. Let's see. Nice. So Brock ate the breakout from the lowest point, using it. That was an advantage entry, sort of. Okay, gotcha, Brock. That's solid. Okay, cool. Yeah. So what Chris mentioned over here, Hussein, I know you were asking about ChatGPT. He mentioned if you have Excel, you can upload a picture onto it and then use it to sum it up for me. Okay. For my thing. Yeah, someone mentioned that to me. I forget who mentioned it. Daniel, I think, right? Daniel mentioned that to me, putting in Excel or like, something similar to add up the profits. Yeah, I did that one time and it came up super wrong. So I just use a trader sync. But yeah, I think in the future I could probably do that. I just need to use the actual Excel. I try to use Google Sheets and it's not the same, of course. It's not as smart as Excel. Or you know what I can do too is I can add up. I didn't even think about that. I could ask ChatGPT. Here, I'm gonna save this. I'm just curious to see what number it gives me. Okay, let's see. Temporary chat. There's no entries right here now, guys. Price is still ranging and consolidating within this middle area. If you guys are looking to take a sweep, next sweep level is going to be right here at this lower low. Again, the thing is, it's already been tested, so it's going to be tricky to double test the same liquidity. If anything, what I'm going to look for here is a possible break and retest below it. So there's two things that may happen right here. It can be a possible sweep from here, or it can be a break and retest below it. Looks like a lot of you guys here are catching the sweeps, though. Sam and PC are catching the sweeps there pretty nicely. All right, which totals do I want to see here? Give me the total under the weekly. Yeah. Google Sheets probably makes you cringe, huh, Chris? Yeah, thing with me is like I like everything on the cloud. I know Excel's on the cloud now, but when I was using the old Excel and Windows Word, that was like before everything was on the cloud. So I used to always use Google Sheets or Google Drive. Okay, no, this is definitely not right. So ChatGPT said the total is 343,000 and 345. It's definitely not right. Um, Let me see. Give me the totals under the. I might have to just give it one screenshot at a time because I think it's seeing multiples from it. I think ChatGPT is like confused because of the multiples. Yeah, no, here I'm gonna do one at a time. Under the on ChatGPT, don't fail us now. All right, so price here is just ranging, consolidating around this area, guys. If anything, if you really want to take sweeps, I mean, you can take sweeps from these extremes, but you want to make sure that price gets to the extreme. So like if price does bounce back and forth between this area, I mean, I probably wouldn't take the sweep right here unless you want to take a risky one. This would be a risky sweep from 44,260. Not to say that it's not going to work, but it is a risky sweep if you guys want to take that. If you guys want to wait further, I would look for the extreme up here at the lower high. So 44, 219 or 299, sorry, I guess. Nah, ChatGPT can't get it. It's all right. I don't need to know the exact number anyways. We'll just estimate, guesstimate. Or I guess I can just guesstimate from here too. So about like 2, 4, 6. Nah, it's too much work. We're just gonna estimate it. Oh, does it? Does that work for all the? Oh, it does. You're right. Yeah, no, duh. Okay. Yeah, no, definitely. I wonder if it takes all of it or if it just takes the specific line. Here, I'll try it out. Ah, shit. No, I don't know where it saved to. I saved the CSV file, but I don't know where I saved it to. Yes, let's see. Let me try it again. Export. Okay, okay, it's in personal. Nice. Okay, smart thinking there, Chris. I know you're the pro with this stuff, so I'm gonna go to with this with the shortcuts. All right, cool. Yeah, so I did get the CSV file, and then now I'll just give it to ChatGPT. All right, guys, so price is below right here. Again, like I said, if you want to take any entries here, I would take it at the extremes, which should like be at the lower end of the demand zone here. So if you guys wanted to take that high-low break and retest, guys, looks like the high-low break and retest came up. It was a very close fill, but it's currently running in profit right now. So this right here, it looks like the candle barely closed below this lower low. And now it has filled and it's running in profit. It looks like it probably hit 30 points already. Not yet, almost. It's just a tricky area to be taking this trade because it's still within the support demand zone, right? So like I said earlier, this is a tricky area to take directional moves because there's two things that may happen here. Price may bounce off here and pull back into the range, or price may break below and continue dropping from here. Either way, I just don't think I'd be too comfortable with this position here overall because of the current situation that's currently in. Like if this was down here outside the support demand zone, then okay, great. But I don't really want to take the trades within here unless I have like a very strong confirmation. Like this candle right here wasn't very strong. If this candle pushed down here, like if this one here closed below this point, then it retraced, then it came back down, then okay, great. I would take that. But that just wasn't the case here. Right. Definitely was not the case there. Oh, I don't think I right-clicked it properly, Chris, because it only gave me one of the accounts. I'll try it again. It's not showing my. Maybe this will work. Yeah, I think I just right-clicked, exported like one specific line, so it just gave me one account, but I did it from the top this time. That's all good. Gotcha, the white space, that makes sense. Let's try it again one more time. So guys, there's no entries here available right now. So don't worry if you guys are looking for something right now. There's just nothing to take at the moment. Again, the directional moves is kind of where I'd be aiming for. But yeah, we're stuck in this demand slash support zone. All right, there's not really much going on here, guys. Volatility is very low. Price is kind of just sitting around basically. So this trade is still running, guys. It is still running right now. Looks like it's about to hit the 40, hit the 30 already finally. So stop loss should get moved in profit. It's on its way to 40 right now, but price is still dropping. So this right here is a high-low break and retest off this lower low right here. Price broken close past this lower low, retested right away, and it is dropping straight down further. Okay, perfect. Thanks, Chris. I finally got it going. So let me go over here, and I can now do some. Okay, so the total is 53,100. I'll just put over here. So this is the total of my profits for the day across all my accounts. So 53,173 and 92 cents. This is for the weekly. That's actually really easy, Chris. I don't know why we never thought about that before, or why I never thought about that. Thanks. I appreciate it. So there we go. We got the total there. So for my stats over here for the trader scene, guys, this only covers a couple of my accounts. It shows 47,300, but the actual total is 53,173. I just took one trade for this week, so that's just from that one trade that we took today, the momentum orb, and pretty nice move right there across all my accounts. Yeah, it's nice. I mean, it's such a relief because I feel like we've been trying to take the orb for a long time now. If you guys have been looking at the orb with me, we've been trying to take the orb for like forever, and there just hasn't been any good entries. It's just been like very choppy, not with trend. It's kind of like random spike. But yeah, this one is actually pretty solid. So full TP right here with the high-low break and retest. If you guys caught that, nice work. This thing got really close to the stop loss, though. So you can see over here, it kind of spiked down, got really close on this retracement, and then it came all the way back down to hit full TP. So if you guys caught that, nice work. If you guys didn't, completely fine. We will continue looking for more opportunities here as price moves along. 7:27 right now, so we still got about 30 minutes till 8 o'clock. If you guys have any questions, feel free to put them in the chat. But if you guys are just joining in, we had a lot of entries here come up so far. We had the momentum orb right here hit full TP for 40 points. That's pretty much where I locked in my profits for the day. So that's how I locked in the 53,000 right here across my accounts. I just took one trade, which was the orb right there. There's a couple entries that came up here as well. The sweeps, MPS, MPSV2, sweep, and then high-low break and retest right here. I was looking to take this right here, but then again, I started to think twice about it because I didn't want to trade within the supply zone or demand zone or structure. I'm just gonna call it structure. Um, it's just easier that way. Let's see. I'm gonna check the chat over here. Hussein said also notice O3 version gives better answers compared to GPT 4.40. Yeah, I'm using O3 right now. Or no, actually, I'm using 4.0. There's gonna be a new one. I think or is 4.0 the newest one? I know there's a new one that's supposed to come out soon, updated version. But yeah, I use 4.0 as well. I do use O3 or 3.0 sometimes, but for the most part, for basic stuff, I just use uh 4.0. I should use O3 though, because I'm paying for premium. Yeah, I should. I'm gonna start using that probably for the next outlooks. I'd say Hussein said, "What's your take on following news while trading since it affects volatility? Isn't it useful to factor in fundamentals for daily bias?" Yeah, that's the whole reason of my outlook. So for my outlook over here, it provides me the reasoning behind the news and stuff like that. So like like for example here for the morning, watch for a reaction to US trade deficit at 8:30, which is 5:30 a.m. S&P Services. Likely volatility, breakout or fade setups in the first hour, depending on data surprise. Aggressive scalps, breakout entries. And this is kind of what I'm focusing on right now, right? The aggressive scalps and the breakout entries. And then the news events over here as well. So I don't really trade news. I just watch to see how price reacts to it, right? And the thing is, I don't really need the outlook here to tell me exactly what the news is going to do because I'm already expecting something, right? So for example, when I look at news over here, who's saying like, for example, this morning at seven o'clock, right? We had this high impact news event. So this high impact news event was forecasted to be positive. It was negative here, right? So like what I look for is I look how price reacts to it. Because it doesn't matter what they predict price is going to do. Like for example, at 7 o'clock, the news was negative, and here is the 7 o'clock. Where's the 7 o'clock candle at? Which is right here, and price obviously went negative with it, right? So if the news was negative, you'd expect price to be negative moving, and that's exactly what happened there. If it went the opposite, that would be manipulation, right? So if we had negative news and price pushed up, then I look for a sweep to push price right back down. So yeah, I do look at fundamentals and I do look at the news, but I don't necessarily base trades off it. So I don't trade news, but I look at how price reacts to the news, and that's how I use it to my advantage. I know some people like to trade news, like, for example, over here it was forecasted to be positive, so people are looking to maybe take buys before it kind of spiked. But I don't trade that way because a lot of times the news is the forecasts and predictions are usually not right. So that's why I personally don't trade news by itself. I just use it as a confluence. And I make sure that it's moving in the direction of my bias as well. See, PC said I need to see some accumulation going on here, then can look for a buy setup above 197. So PC is looking for possibly a back to open move, it looks like. If it breaks above the 197 right here, it's going to look for possible continuation back up. For me personally, I think price is just going to keep dropping. And that's just my personal opinion right there. Reason for that is because we have an overall trend over here, which is currently very bearish, right? We have the 1 minute, 5 minute, 15 minute, 30 minute, 1 hour, 4 hour. Everything here is bearish now. Like literally everything is bearish. So that being said, I'm expecting price to just continue even further from where it's currently at. There's a possible high-low break and retest setting up right here at the 44,133. The only problem here that I'm kind of concerned with is the fact that the volatility here is starting to flatten out, right? So if this drops pretty heavily, and this is what I'm going to be looking for here. So if this kind of breaks through very sharply, we have momentum, then it retraces very quickly and comes back down further. In a situation like that, I would take this as a high-low break and retest, but I don't want to take it if price is going sideways like this, right? This is not a good sign. If you see prices start flattening out like it is right here, this is going to be tricky because you might just get caught in the range or the chop, right? And you don't want to be caught in the range or the chop. You want to be moving in a directional market. So if you're taking directional strategies, look for a directional move, right? Look for something like this. It's got to be a sharp, like dramatic move. You don't want to be taking a trade for a directional move when price is going sideways like this because it wouldn't really matter which direction you take, right? If you take a sell or you take a buy, you can get stopped out in either direction. Or you can be caught holding the bag here and just hold on to this position for like 10, 20 minutes, and then eventually it spikes in a direction. And then it's just a lucky move from there, right? Either get lucky and it spikes in your direction, or you get unlucky and it spikes against you. So yeah, I wouldn't really take directional moves in this type of market conditions right now. I would wait for price action to really show you that it's actually going to move, right? So what I'd like to see here is I'd like to see price really break out of this area, continue dropping, or I'd like price to break above here and continue climbing, right? Something sharp and something fast. So we'll see. Yeah, exactly. PC said that's why it's important to understand what Wall Street is doing. Yeah, I mean, I'm trading the individual stocks and I'm trading the earnings, so I have an idea of like what's going on right here too. with regard to what's happening behind the scenes. I only trade blue chip stocks. I don't really trade the small stuff, and I don't trade options. I just trade direction. So I'm playing with like about 30,000 to 40,000 in my account. Um, yeah, it's nothing super crazy. But that's kind of just what I'm playing with right now. Man, Visa is killing me right now. I should have never got into Visa. I'm down like 600, 500 on that account, but or that specific trade. I'll have to cut my losses on that soon. All right. All right, so again, right here, guys, we have a possible high-low break and retest off this lower low. Only problem here is that price is going sideways, so I don't really recommend taking a directional move right here. If you do want to take entries, I mean, sweeps would probably be your best option, right? Since the trend here is very bearish, I would look for a possible sweep up here. We have a lower high right here, so if prices come up to this point, you can look for a possible sweep from there, right? It's a possible push up and sweep from that point down there. All right, so price broke and closed below it, guys. There could be a possible high-low break and retest right here if you guys are looking to take it again. I just don't really feel comfortable with the price action right now. The volatility is starting to slow down a bit. But if you are looking to take the entry right here, entry is going to be at 44,133. If it doesn't fill on this candle, you have about 40 seconds for it to fill. If it doesn't, then you got to cancel your order here. So you should be a pending limit order right here at 44,133. Again, it needs to fill on this candle. It's 30 seconds left on this candle here. If it doesn't fill, then you would need to cancel it. Price is dropping further right here. It's not looking like price is going to shift back down. So something to keep in mind. All right, so no fill there, guys. Looks like you'd have to cancel your order. I wasn't really expecting it to fill because, like I said, the price action here is not very consistent. We're not getting much of a back and forth movement right here. It's kind of just it's a slow roll. So nothing right there, guys. Oh, yeah. All right, so this is still dropping right there. If you guys have any questions, feel free to put your questions in the chat. Looks like Sam is in at 106. He's looking for a sweep right back up. So let's see if this here sweeps right back up. There's no fill here, guys, so I'm going to take this off. Price never came back to retest that lower low. Price came down right here, broke below it, didn't actually retest. So it looks like it's due for retracement here now as price continues to push up, which is going to be in favor of Sam's position right here as he takes his sweep right back up at 106. So it looks like you're probably out already, Sam. 15. Nice. Where's your stop set at, Sam, for this year? You have your stop set at, I'm assuming you have it pretty close, like right below the low. 15.15. I'm just curious, like where your stop is at. But yeah, great move right there. I mean, this could probably push up to like the full 40. For me, I would I'd probably have like a 20-40 here and then use a trailing stop every 10 points. 10 points, break even, 10 points. Ideally, I think that'd probably be the best case scenario. For me specifically, that's just what I would do for these sweeps. It's hard to do when you're copying the accounts though. You got so many accounts running. Gotcha. Okay, 15-20. That's good. You have some you give it some cushion, which is perfect. Solid. All right, guys. I'm gonna clean this up a little bit, take this off. We have another possible high-low break and retest right here off this lower low. Again, the price action here I don't like as much because the volatility is a little low. If you guys do want to take this here, your pending limit order would be at 44,099. This candle will have to break and close below it. If it doesn't, then no entry there. Does not look like we're going to get an entry here yet. All right, possibly on this next candle here. We'll see. All right, looks like price is breaking and closing below it. This is going to be a possible setup for high-low break and retest, guys. I'm probably going to hold off on this. Again, I just don't like the way that price action is moving. I don't think this is even going to fill. But if you guys do want to have it, your pending order would be right here at 44.99. I just don't like that the market here is super slow. I do like that it's coming down, but it's a slow roll. Typically for these high-low break and retest, you want them to hit right away. So you typically you want this to pretty much break and close, fill, and then come right back down. The market here is moving too slow, so I'm not really expecting this to even fill on this next candle. Candle has about 20 seconds left on it, so I don't think this year is going to fill. Right. So no fill right there again, guys. So my prediction was right. I wasn't expecting it to fill, so it didn't fill right there. We had price break and close past the lower low. I was looking for it to come back right here to fill the pending order. Did not fill. And now price is kind of just sitting at this part below the lower low. Let's see, Sam said it's so bearish and I'm buying. It's crazy. I know. I'm surprised you're buying because you usually don't trade against the trend like that, Sam. So he's trying to get in at 45. Gotcha. Gotcha. Okay. I mean, price has been pushing for a while now, so if we do get a retracement, it'll be a pretty strong retracement up here, possibly. Continuation down lower. I haven't used the fib retracements in a long time, but I kind of like looking at it now when price is moving for when it's been moving downward for so long. Because when the retracement happens, which is going to be pretty strong, have a good idea of like where it's going to retrace to and if it continues back down lower. See, like I'm using a lot of tools that are common and a lot of other people use, but I haven't really used before. Well, I mean, I've used them in the past, but I don't typically like to use them as much. It's just good to have a nice confluence. Again, if you guys have any questions, feel free to put your questions in the chat. Otherwise, keep following along. All right. Nothing else here. Price is still dropping. Let's see. Did you get into that position, Sam? Let's see, Sam was trying to get in at 45. So it looks like it should have filled by now, no? Yeah. So Sam is trying to get in right here at 45. It looks like it already filled. So 45 for 15. Let's see. I'll follow it with you. Lila said, okay, I have to go. I only post when I'm above 1,000, not going to be the class dudes. Nice work, Lila. So Lila over here locked in some pretty good profit right there. Lila locked in 1,250. Nice work, Lila. 1,250 for the day. Great work. Yeah, you guys did pretty good today. Overall, everyone did great off the orb entry. You know, a lot of times you really just need an orb entry, or not really an orb entry, but just one entry in general to set you up for the day. CJ said he skipped that high-low break and retest because of price action and it's late in the session. Yeah, I would have. Well, that's the same reason why I did it too, CJ. Price action's too slow. The reason why I'm like concerned about the price action here, it looks like you should have taken that trade, Sam. Your TP would have gotten hit, would have blasted right through it. So Sam tried to get in at 37 actually. It just missed your 37, but your initial 45 played out perfect. It's all good. We'll catch the next one. But yeah, guys, price action here is moving a little slow, like just what we talked about. So there's not really much here for us to necessarily take. That's why I'm taking things a little easier. Um, yeah, I mean, I'm just not really looking to hop into anything here too crazy. I'm thinking about maybe increasing my risk for my positions from a third to maybe a half, but I'll probably make that decision next week. I don't make decisions like that midweek. I typically just make those decisions towards the end of the week. So we'll see. We really just need like one or two good solid entries per day. Because if we get one or two good solid entries, it's a 1 to 2. So you're basically making double. Um, if anything, if you guys want to take sweeps, man, I forgot what that strategy was called. I had a strategy. It was called market flow. The market flow here is actually it's been hitting pretty much all day. I don't know if you've been looking at them, CJ. I know you liked the market flow before, but pretty much all day today, the market flow has been hitting. Price came down, retraced, market flow entry would happen like somewhere right there. Price came down, retraced, market flow entry would have happened right here at 220. Came back down, sell entry right here, price pulled down, retraced right here, market flow would have happened at 130. So there's a bunch of market flow entries that came in right here. If you guys are not familiar with market flow, it's literally what it means. It's just you're flowing with the market. Right here, this because the trend here is super heavy, so the market flow entries are they're pretty much just hitting as soon as they come up. Market flow, basically, you're looking for the momentum signal. So see right here, we have a sell signal. You're looking for price push up, retrace to the pivots, and then you take it in at the whole number in between pivots 1 and 2. So price pulled up right here. The whole number is at 300. Would have filled right there. Came down for full TP. Another sell signal right here. Price pushed down. I retraced right here. The market flow entry would be at 220 right there. Would have filled full TP again. And then same with this one right here. I typically go for like, or when I did apply the strategy, I'd go for one per momentum. And again, right here, another sell momentum. Price came down, retraced up. Uh, the market flow would have been right here at the 130. And then it would have filled right there and then it would have hit again for another full TP. So yeah, if you guys are looking to take, any of my older strategies, they still work perfectly fine. Market flow, MPS, B1 variations, etc. They're all pretty much hitting still, especially in a heavy trading market like this, right? We're in a very strong downtrend. So I'm shocked Sam is taking these buys here. I mean, he's hitting them, but yeah, very risky when you're trading against a very strong trend to the downside. Nice, nice. Okay, cool. So yeah, CJ over here took the market flow V2s at 736 and 715. Perfect. Yeah, exactly. This one right here. And then again right there at 36. Perfect. Nice. That was like one of my very favorite strategies at one point. I think a lot of you guys like that strategy. Very it's a very straightforward strategy. All right, guys, 7:55 right now. If you guys have any questions, feel free to put your questions in the chat. I'm not really looking to take anything here right now because the volatility is starting to slow down a bit and we're getting very close to 8 o'clock. So if there isn't any questions, I'm probably gonna wrap this up pretty soon. Again, if you guys are just joining in or if you guys are not familiar with what we took for today, we took a couple entries. The main one that we took here officially would be the momentum orb entry. This was a full TP for the breakout for 40 points. That's where I locked in all of my profits from this morning. I just took one trade. That's where all of these came from. Just that one trade there. Other than that, we had a couple of smaller scalps that came in. Not smaller, but just scalps in general. We had a liquidity sweep from up here. We had an MPS right here, MPS V2 liquidity sweep. Right here was an MPS V2, I believe. And then right here we had, oh, this is a high-low break and retest, sorry. So sweep, MPS, MPS V2, sweep, high-low break and retest. And that's about it. But yeah, it's about time to wrap it up. It's getting close to 8 o'clock. You might see some sort of reversal from this point here, a possible reversal. I wouldn't say necessarily a full on, maybe a retracement up to this structure right here, and then maybe a drop right back down. But whatever happens here, I mean, market volatility is going to slow down. You can see over here it's starting to go sideways as we speak. Sam said, well, time to wrap up. This apex consistency is bugging me. I feel choked. I think I'm going FTMO going forward. Yeah, I know the consistency does suck. Honestly, if I could use FTMO, I would use them again, but obviously we can't use them here in the US. One other person asked me about that actually on Instagram because they saw that I was like fully funded, like max funded with FTMO, and they realized that, yeah, I'm not using them anymore because we can't here in the US. So our options are here are very limited, but since you're British, Sam. I mean, you have the option to use so many other prop firms. So, all right, guys, I think that's it for the day. If you guys have any questions, feel free to hit me up on Discord. Otherwise, great trading day today. Full TP on the breakout. The original breakout for today was also a TP. So looking over here, this is the regular breakout. Regular breakout for today was a buy, it looks like. Yeah, and this thing hit for 100 points too. So if you guys took the regular breakout, momentum breakout, 100 points, full TP right there. Everything pretty much hit today. Momentum breakout, momentum or breakout, sweeps, MPS V2s, high-low break and retest. Everything pretty much hit today. I don't think anything here hit a stop loss at all. So if you took any of the trades that we identified today, great work, full TPs on everything. And hopefully we continue on with this week in the same fashion. So it's looking good. And hopefully this is going to be the theme for the rest of the week. So, all right, guys, that's about it. If you guys have any questions, feel free to hit me up on Discord. Otherwise, I will see you guys back here